the objective is twofold. Number one is to understand the impact or the effect or the dividend of the ministry of angels. And I'd like to give a short background introduction to the ideology behind the conversation about angelic operations. You see, God is a spirit, and within the realm he exists, there are beings that are, formed and created, all right, within his nature, in order to carry out or to execute or to enforce or to relay or to deliver the will, the intent, and the agenda of God on the face of the earth. Now, this is to say that we also agree that our God is a king. And if you are familiar with earthly kings on the earth, you will know one thing is common, that there is no king without servants. If you are a king and you have to stand up to sweep the compound, I know you are a king in your house, but that king is a nickname. Amen. You remember the story of the Roman general who spoke to Jesus, that Jesus said, let's go to your house. I love your faith and I see what you have done for the ministry. Yeah, you can get his attention by overwhelming impact on the kingdom. Amen. I can tell you, by impact, by the release of impact, you can also cover ground with another person who is just a mere disciple following. Amen. That guy got the attention of Jesus. How they got the attention of Jesus was that they said to Jesus, Master, this man, he loved the Jews. They didn't even mention that he's a man of faith. They say he loved the Jews. He even built for us a church. And Jesus is the head of the church. He said, he built a church. He said, we are going to your house. And the man said, no, Jesus. That's a very powerful mystery there. That's how you can move the ministry of your prophet. Amen. That's not my focus anyway. And then the man said to Jesus, I am a man under authority. I have men servants. Like Pastor Bolu is in church, she's a military officer. She has soldier boys. I knew I was a serious pastor when I went for her decoration, when she was decorated to be a captain. And she invited me. She didn't invite her uncle, her auntie, or her friend. She invited her pastor. Very smart woman. She and her boss were the ones who. So the man had to meet. He had physical military ranking, and then me on a spiritual motor. Amen. Anyway, I came as a 2-star general. But in the spirit, came here with my double-breasted suit, red eyes. I had kabasha like about an hour 30 minutes before I came there. Red eyes. When I came, she saw me. She said, welcome, sir. She took me straight to her boss's office. Are you hearing me? Then they now brought me down for the ceremony. What are you talking about? When they said, we would like to invite, and us was, a senior man, who senior man matched up, ayaga. And then I came, and the man came, the other man was handling the other hand, I was handling this side. You needed to see the seriousness on my face. In that atmosphere, laughing is a sign you are a bloody civilian. You can't be joking with. But one thing I saw was that while she took me from the gate inside, there were some men with rifles who were saluting her. Well done, ma. Older than her. Kadabaras. Regardless of her gender, regardless of her age, she carries an atmosphere of authority that swallows the sentiment of gender or the bias of your own agenda. While we were going, and I was the way I was marching, you will know that I was a baby soldier. Red eyes, and I was moving like this.